What's up, folks? It's the Sportsbook Killa, UFC 303. You're not going to want to miss this one. This card looks good so far. We're going to start with the main event, the light heavyweights. Light heavyweight champion Alex Pereira going up against Yuri Prochazka. This fight is a rematch. First time Pereira was able to stop him. I'm going to go with Pereira again this time. Not super strong on him because Yuri is a tough opponent, but I don't think Yuri will be able to avoid that nuclear left hand of Alex Pereira's for an entire 5-round fight. I think he's going to get hit with it. It's becoming more and more difficult for guys to take Pereira down. Glover Teixeira has Pereira's grappling on another level now. He's looking pretty good, especially as a light heavyweight. So I'm going to be rolling with Alex Pereira to win this one. I'm going to take the prop bet that the fight starts the second round, but I'm also going to take the prop bet that the fight goes under 4.5 rounds. So I got the fight starting the second round and the under 4.5 round prop. Alex Pereira to win. Next fight, we got the featherweights. Brian Ortega going up against Diego Lopes. Wherever you're going to be Saturday night, make sure you somewhere to watch this fight here. This is going to be a fight. Both of these guys have really good boxing. Both of these guys have strong chins. Both of these guys are Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belts. And both of them have phenomenal ground games with quick and strong submissions. This is going to be a fight. I'm going to roll with Diego Lopes because he's the younger, looks a little hungrier. He's going to be the taller of the two, probably the bigger. He is built pretty thick now, muscle bound. This guy looks like he's just ready to contend for the championship. So I got to go with Diego Lopes. He's the more explosive fighter. But Brian Ortega is nothing to you can't sleep on this guy. You cannot sleep on Brian Ortega. You sleep on him, you get submitted by him. That's the way it goes. But I'm going to roll with Diego Lopes on this one. It's not one of my stronger picks because Brian Ortega is a very dangerous opponent. But I will go with Diego Lopes for this one. And I'll take the prop bet that the fight starts the second round and that the fight starts the third round. Next fight, we got the light heavyweights. Anthony Smith fighting Roman Dolidze. Both of these guys are 35 years old, but Roman Dolidze has only had 15 fights. Anthony Smith has had 57 fights at 35 years old. His record is 38-19. So he's a big dude too, 6'4". He has very strong leg kicks. He's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu purple belt, but his boxing is rather weak. I'm going to roll with Roman Dolidze on this one. I mean, he trains at Extreme Couture. He's a hard puncher, very strong kicks. He has a superpower right hand, and he has good cardio and a strong chin. So I'm going to go with Roman Dolidze to get this one done, and I'm going to take the prop that the fight starts the second round and that the fight starts the third round. Next fight, we got the women's bantamweight division. Mayra Bueno Silva versus Macy Chiasson. Bueno Silva, her boxing's rather weak. She does have a good ground game, though, and she has a strong chin, but her cardio is very questionable. She is gassed out in a few fights, and so got her listed on my list as poor cardio. Macy Chiasson, she has good boxing, and she has a decent ground game, but she just can't seem to get over the hurdle of the major fights to beat the top 5 opponents. But I'm going to take Macy Chiasson. You may not want to go with me on this particular ride here because Mayra Bueno Silva has a good path to victory, and she may win. She's a 2-1 favorite. But Macy Chiasson is 5'11". She is big, and she would have to be super weak to not make this fight at least close. But I think she can win it. I really do. I think Macy Chiasson can win this fight with her boxing and her ground game. I don't think her ground game is better than Bueno Silva, but if she can keep it from going to the ground and keep it standing up and box, she can win this fight pretty easy. So I'm going to go with Macy Chiasson and hope that she uses a Good fight IQ and get this one done. I'm also going to take the over 1.5 round prop and the over 2.5 round prop. Next fight, the welterweights. This is going to be a fight here. Ian Machado Gary and Michael Venom Page, MVP himself. Yes, this is going to be a fight. Machado Gary is a judo black belt, very versatile striker. He has phenomenal cardio and great kickboxing. Michael Venom Page is a fifth degree kickboxing black belt. 10-time kickboxing champion. He has very fast strikes, very good cardio. He's 37 years old, so he's been doing it for a while. He's going to be 11 years older than Machado Gary. However, I'm going to lean Michael Venom Page because, for one, he's an underdog. And when you get a striker like Page as an underdog, it's almost like you just got to take him. And to be honest with you, Ian Machado Gary hasn't shown a whole lot. He hasn't shown a whole lot. He hasn't gotten in there and just dominated guys, so, and we don't have to worry about MVP getting taken down. Now, if he was going against a grappler, that'd be one thing. But I think it's just going to be a striking match, and it's going to be who's faster, who can get the punches off quicker. MVP has a 79-inch reach. Machado Gary has a 74.5-inch reach. So I'm guessing MVP would be tough for anybody as far as striking. I'm going to go with MVP for this one, and I'm going to take the over 1.5 round prop and the over 2.5 round prop. And I'm also going to bet that this fight goes the distance. I think both of those guys are experienced enough to not get finished by the other guy. Next fight, the middleweights. Joe Pyfer going up against Powerbar Marc-Andre Barriault. I'm riding Joe Pyfer all the way. No question. That's the dude. That's one of my strong picks. I like the way he fights. I like the way he wrestles. He has KO power. He has good wrestling. I roll with Joe Pyfer. I think he wins this one. And I'm going to take the prop bet that the fight starts round 2. I can't go too much further than that. I'll just take Joe Pyfer and the fight starts round 2. Next fight, we got the featherweights. Cub Swanson going up against Andre Touchy-Feely. Touchy-Feely made me kind of mad his last fight because he got KO'd by Dan Ige. But Ige's a tough. Ige's definitely in the top 5. All right, I'm going to go with Andre Feely for this one. I'm thinking he's going to beat a 40-year-old Cub Swanson. Cub Swanson is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, but he doesn't really normally go to the ground. He likes to jump in with wild punches, and his ground game doesn't look too strong. But I think this fight will stay standing. Andre Feely is also a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. He trains at Team Alpha Male. He's a very hard striker, very versatile striker. He has a wide array of attacks, and his ground game is solid. I like his ground game. So I'm going to be going with Andre Feely in this one, and I'm going to take the prop bet that the fight starts the 2nd round and that the fight starts the 3rd round. Next fight, the featherweights. Charles Jourdain going up against Jean Silva. Jean Silva is a power puncher. He has KO power, good ground game. He's a versatile striker. But he hasn't beaten anybody UFC caliber yet. Only person he can put on his belt is Weston Wilson so far, and I mean, who hasn't knocked out Weston Wilson? So I'm going to go with Charles Jourdain because Charles Jourdain has fought UFC caliber talent and beat UFC caliber talent. He's a jiu-jitsu brown belt, pressure fighter, fights out of the southpaw stance, very versatile striker, and he has phenomenal cardio. So I'm going to take Charles Jourdain to get this one done, and I'm going to take the prop bet that the fight starts the 2nd round. Next fight, we got the bantamweights. The up-and-coming superstar, Peyton Talbot, going up against Yanis Gimori. Peyton Talbot's undefeated. He's more than likely going to crush this guy. He's been running through everybody. This guy, he's really good. But they have him at DraftKings at minus 1,600, meaning you got to give up 16-1 odds. He's good, but he ain't that good. Won't be doing that. I can't take Giannis, even though Giannis is at plus 900. I just don't see Giannis beating this kid. But what I will do is take the prop bet that the fight starts round 2. And I also take the prop bet. I'll throw a little less on this bet, though, that the fight starts round 3. Giannis is durable, so he looks like he could take a good beating, and Peyton Talbot is more than likely going to give him a nice, long, slow beating. And I can pick this money up if he does. So I hope he takes his time and just does what he does. But if you wanted to take Gamora, it's not a bad idea, because Peyton Talbot is, like I said, he is really good, but not minus 1,600 good. So, like, I just can't bet on Giannis because I just don't see a way that he beats this kid. But, I mean, at 9-1 odds, and probably by fight time, it's probably going to be 10-1 or 11-1. You know, who cares? You put a few bucks on him and see what happens, you know. But Peyton Talbot should dominate this fight. And like I said, only props I'm going to take is the fight starting the 2nd round, fight starting the 3rd round. Next fight, Michelle Waterson-Gomez versus Jillian Robertson. This is interesting because I really like Michelle Waterson-Gomez, but she can never get over that hurdle of one tough top 5 fighter. She just can never get over it. Even if she's winning in the 1st round, she fades and starts losing in the 2nd and 3rd. This girl is a karate black belt, Brazilian jiu-jitsu brown belt. Her kicks are phenomenal. They're so fast. She can throw them at your body, at your head, at your legs. Her kicks are phenomenal. But she, for some odd, just can't seem to keep her composure and win the fights that'll get her closer to the title. So she's never been able to really get there, as far as lately anyway. And right now, she's 38 years old. So that becomes a problem, too, because Jillian Robertson's 29. And Waterson-Gomez, like I said, she has always been able to hang with top fighters, but she just can't beat the elite. So I got to go with Jillian Robertson on this one. Her ground game's better. Her striking isn't better. If Waterson-Gomez can keep the fight standing, she has a path to victory. But she has a tendency to lose the fight. So I'm not necessarily betting on Jillian Robertson. I'm betting that Waterson-Gomez loses the fight. And if Jillian Robertson gets the fight to the ground, she'll more than likely submit Waterson-Gomez. So we'll see what happens, but I'm going with Jillian Robertson in this one. And I'm also going to take the over 1.5 round prop, and I'm going to take the prop bet that the fight starts the 3rd round. Next fight, we got the heavyweights. Andrei Arlovski versus Martin Buday. Oh, man. Arlovski is 44 years old. Trains at American Top Team. He's a hard puncher. He's phenomenal cardio, especially to be 44. Martin Buday is just a big, sloppy dude that's been able to get in that cage and submit a guy here and there and knock out a guy here and there. But I hate watching him fight. He never looks like he's in any kind of shape. And I just don't like betting on guys like that. If you have to bet on this fight, you probably should go with Buday because he's 32 fighting a 44-year-old man, and he should be able to outlast him. So the only thing I'm going to do with this fight, I'm going to lean Martin Buday, but I'm going to take the prop bet that the fight starts the 2nd round. And that's about all I can do with this one, y'all. Next fight, and this is a fight that I really am looking forward to. The flyweights. We got Ray Saruya going up against Carlos Hernandez. Ray Saruya. Let me just tell y'all, this kid is incredible. He's 22 years old. He's undefeated at 9-0. This is one of my stronger picks. His wrestling is incredible. This guy gets you to the ground. His moves are so fast on the ground. I mean, lightning fast. So it's a great ground game. Hernandez has good boxing. Hernandez is a hard puncher with very fast hands. But this guy, Saruya, he once he grabs a hold of you, it is so hard to shake this guy loose. So I got to take Saruya for this one for the win. And I'm going to sprinkle a little something on the under 2.5 round prop. Last fight, we got the bantamweights. Ricky Simon versus Vinicius Oliveira. Vinicius Oliveira is relatively new to the UFC, but he just knocked somebody out his last fight with a flying knee, and I saw that fight, and I said, goodness, I had my money on Oliveira for that one. He's a good fighter, real good fighter, but he hasn't fought the UFC caliber competition. Ricky Simon has fought UFC caliber competition and beat UFC caliber competition before. So he's had way more UFC fights. I'm going to go with Ricky Simon to win this. He's a relentless grappler, has good takedowns, and he's a hard puncher as well. And if it does go to the ground, he is a jiu-jitsu black belt. So Ricky Simon, I like his resume, and I love watching him wrestle. This guy, he can wrestle for 3 straight rounds. So if he doesn't get KO'd by Oliveira, you can rest assured he will put on a wrestling clinic, and Oliveira will more than likely just get frustrated and worn out. And hopefully that power get drained from him so he can't do anything in that 3rd round. So Ricky Simon is the pick, and I'm going to take the prop bet that the fight starts the 2nd round and that the fight starts the 3rd round. Hey, good luck this Saturday, folks.